Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Laura Hayes and I'm from the UCL student recruitment team. I'd like to thank you all for coming along to this session today at SI UK. So today is the opportunity to find out why UCL. So what makes UCL such a great university? Why do we have such a strong global reputation? And what are we doing to address some of the world's big questions and issues? So first of all, we are currently 8th in the world. With a global reputation, we are consistently ranked as one of the world's best universities in various rankings. The recent 2021 QS University ranking ranked us 8th, which you can see from this slide here, and 4th in the UK. And also in various UK national university rankings, we're consistently placed in the top 10. For me, one of the things I'm most proud of at UCL is the amazing impact we have globally and how we can make a real difference to people's lives every day. What we do at UCL is not confined to just the classrooms, the labs, studios, or lecture theatres. Throughout our history, both our students and academics have made significant contributions to the world. UCL has a strong history of academic excellence, which stretches back from our founding in 1826, and we're renowned for world-class research, and we're ranked first in the UK for research strength in the last National Research Excellence Framework. Most recently, the sort of impact that UCL research is having around the world, for example, with the COVID pandemic. So UCL engineers and UCLH clinicians, in collaboration with industry partners, developed a breathing aid called UCL Ventura, which helped COVID-19 patients out of intensive care. So this breathing aid, of which there were 10,000 were manufactured, are now being used in over 130 UK hospitals. And the designs were then licensed at no cost to support the global fight against COVID-19. And now UCL Ventura are being manufactured and distributed across the world with use in over 25 different countries. We've also been at the forefront of transforming treatment and diagnosis of prostate cancer, for example, particularly in relation to screening with the ability to prevent 1 in 6 deaths. And also more recently, UCL's Energy Institute has helped reduce the carbon footprint of the shipping industry by highlighting the true scale of shipping's role in the climate crisis by using a new methodology to calculate shipping emissions and subsequently publishing this data. We're also very proud at UCL to have had 30 Nobel Prize winners as part of our alumni, and this stretches back all the way back to 1904 with Sir William Ramsay, who, whilst chair of chemistry at UCL, was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for the discovery of helium, argon, neon, krypton, and xenon, and for placing them in the periodic system. To the most recent Nobel Prize winner in 2020, who was Professor Sir Roger Penrose, who's among 3 scientists to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for work relating to black holes. Sir Roger graduated from UCL with a first-class degree in maths in 1952. We are known as London's global university. So London itself is a very international cosmopolitan city, which I'm sure you are aware of. But we also describe ourselves as London's global university. And part of our greatness comes from the wonderful, diverse international city in which we live. But we also encourage all of our staff and students to connect internationally. So UCL is a very international university with 53% of our students actually from overseas, from over 150 different countries around the world. And a third of our staff are from overseas. And we have over 250,000 alumni worldwide. And we very much value the richness our diversity brings to our campus. UCL is known as the home of disruptive thinking. So since our establishment in 1826, we've always pushed against the boundaries. We have a reputation for game-changing research and a unique multidisciplinary approach to problem solving. And this has very much been the status quo at UCL. Just talking briefly a bit about our founding. This is an image here of Jeremy Bentham, who was a social reformer in the early 19th century in England. And he is really regarded as the spiritual father of UCL. And he strongly believed that education should be made more widely available. At the time, in early 19th century England, if you weren't a man or from a wealthy background or a member of the established church, higher education was off limits. And UCL's founders were inspired by Bentham's ideas on education and society and decided to tour up this rule book. So UCL was the first university to admit students, regardless of race or social background, and the first to welcome women to university education. We were also the first in English to teach subject areas such as English, German, chemistry, and engineering. And we have very much been disruptive from our conception. So following on from the global institution that UCL is, diversity is very much in our DNA. We have challenged inequality ever since, and each year we invest 13.5 million in bursaries and activities to support students from diverse backgrounds to enter and succeed. And as I mentioned before, we have a very diverse student body with over 150 students coming from different countries around the world. One of the really exciting parts about UCL is that within the different faculties, we have 11 different faculties. There is a lot of cross-collaboration and interdisciplinary research and approaches to learning. And this has sort of culminated in our focus currently on 6 global challenges. So these are what we see as the world's biggest challenges, current challenges, being global health, sustainable cities, cultural understanding, human well-being, justice and equality, and transformative technology. So the cross-disciplinary research is a key at UCL, and Grand Challenges brings together researchers from across UCL faculties and cultivates cross-disciplinary approaches to explore solutions to some of the world's most pressing issues. We're also very much looking towards the future and how we can make an impact and move the world forward. So we are investing in our future and in potential students. And we're transforming UCL is the largest capital program in the university's history. We're currently investing 1.25 billion over the next 10 years to refurbish and develop some of the university's iconic buildings and to promote new world-class buildings, such as the new Student Centre. The image that you can see there on the right is the new Student Centre at UCL, which has been voted one of the greenest and most sustainable buildings in the UK. The building is equipped with solar panels and it benefits from reduced water consumption and a green roof to reduce its carbon footprint. The new Student Centre provides additional study spaces for independent and group work, and it's very much a space that all students at UCL can visit on a daily, regular basis, just to, whether it's to study specifically in one of the rooms or just to hang out in the sort of social areas as well. And we're also investing in the new UCL East campus. So some of you might, well, I'm sure you're familiar with the Olympics in London, which took place in 2012. So UCL have invested £1.2 billion to build an extension of our campus on the site of the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in East London. This is going to be known as the East Bank. And the campus is going to be known as UCL East, and work has already begun on this. And we aim to complete the first 2 buildings on target to open in the academic year 2022-23. This area of East London is going to be known as East Bank and is a new powerhouse for innovation, creativity and learning. It's a collaboration between world-class leading universities and world-renowned arts and cultural institutions. UCL and University of the Arts London College of Fashion will join the world-class establishments such as the BBC, Sadler's Wells Theatre, and the V&A, the Victorian Art Museum, on the site to create this cultural powerhouse in the heart of East London. The sorts of degree programs that we're planning to open at UCL East are very much cutting edge programs such as robotics, global urbanism, disability design, innovation programs, citizen science and scientific crowdsourcing. And these degree programs are very much the first of their kind. There's also going to be the UCL Global Business Health School as well. Most of these programs in the first instance are actually going to be masters also. But back to the main campus at UCL. So investment has also been seen across our faculties and departments. So the building that you can see on the left-hand side is the Francis Crick Institute, which is a joint venture with our founding partners, the Medical Research Council, Cancer Trust UK, Imperial College London and King's College London, which focuses on discovery and research in biomedicine. And we've recently seen the completion of the Bartlett Faculty of Architecture. And this is the first major project to be completed in the university's programme to upgrade the main Bloomsbury campus. And it's very much part of UCL's continuing legacy to become carbon neutral by 2024. So we want to ensure that we lead by example in terms of our grand challenge, sustainable cities. And UCL's Bloomsbury campus is already powered by 100% renewable electricity. And as I said, our long-term vision is to make sure that by 2024, all of our buildings will be carbon neutral and free from the use of single-use plastic. So UCL is a multidisciplinary university, and we offer a wide range of postgraduate and undergraduate programs. You can see there the listed 11 different faculties. So we teach everything from arts and humanities, laws, life sciences, through to medical sciences and beyond. Students have been invited into the university's research community to take part in the development of new knowledge. So we very much connect students with researchers, regardless of whatever program they come into UCL on, whether it's postgraduate or undergraduate. And this gives the students the opportunity to carry out their own research. So this approach is called the UCL's Connected Curriculum, and it makes studying more intellectually challenging, more relevant, and more authentic. We want to ensure that all our students have the opportunity to make strong connections across disciplines and how they can apply their learning to real-world issues. We really want to encourage our students to learn how to think, not what to think. Through the UCL curriculum, we aim to ensure all UCL students are able to learn through participating in research and inquiry at all levels of their programs of study. So, as I mentioned before, we have 250,000 alumni from around the world. We count the 30 Nobel Prize winners, for example, but also famous poets, novelists. We have some Olympians, investors, inventors, Turner Prize art winners, directors, musicians, and so on. And I think what you can see on the screen now is just a list of some of our notable alumni coming up. We also are very proud to have at least 600 contactable alumni from Turkey at the moment. So just moving on to life at UCL. So obviously coming to university, it's not all just about the academic studies, what you will learn in your lecture theatres and your tutorial groups, but also about what you will learn and the experience you gain will go beyond the classroom. So looking at the main UCL locations, so this is a map here of central London, And the UCL Bloomsbury main campus is right there in the heart of central London. So as you can see from the map, we're located in an area called Bloomsbury, which is very close to three main stations: King's Cross, St Pancras International and Euston. And from St Pancras International, that's where you can get the train to mainland Europe. But we're very much in the heart of London's Bloomsbury district. And which is very much a kind of a cultural hub of the city. So we collaborate with neighbouring organisations, and this area is also known as the Knowledge Quarter, with over 90 different academic, research, cultural, scientific and media organisations, both big and small, with a mission to disseminate knowledge. So our campus is surrounded by museums, libraries, for example, the British Library, academic and professional bodies, theatres, hospitals and medical institutes. And at UCL, we work together with these institutions and leading organisations. And as a UCL student, you will have access to these amazing resources. So, for example, you can visit the British Library. You have access also to the British Museum as well, and other University of London libraries and facilities, such as those at LSE, King's College and SOAS, for example, which are nearby. You can also make the most of the resources on campus that we have. So we do have our own museums and galleries. For example, there's the Grant Museum of Zoology with around 68,000 zoological specimens, or the UCL Art Museum, which is home to 10,000 works of art across a range of media. We are very much a tight-knit community at UCL. Despite being a large university, we do very much offer a campus experience for students. We attract like-minded students who want to be part of the global university and seek to make a difference in the world. In terms of accommodation, we do guarantee accommodation for all first-year undergraduate students and usually postgraduate students as well. So we have 26 halls of residence of varying size at UCL. These can be catered, which means it has cooking facilities, or non-catered, which means you would have to cook for yourself. And the majority are within a mile of the Bloomsbury campus. London's also a very easy city to walk around, so you can save some transportation costs by living quite close to the campus, particularly as a graduate student or in your first year of undergraduate studies. So we guarantee accommodation, and then it's quite typical in years 2, 3 and 4 for undergraduate students to find their own place with a group of friends in private housing. So just in terms of some of the UCL numbers, so we're home to over 44,000 students from over 150 different countries, 13,000 staff, and nearly 50% of our students are from overseas. So at UCL, you will be surrounded by fellow curious minds who will support you in developing and challenging your own ideas, and you will learn from each other. But there's something for everybody at UCL, and our student union has over 300 different clubs and societies that students can think about joining. And we've recently obviously just started the academic year. Last week we had Welcome Week or Freshers Week, which gave the opportunity for new students to join some of the different societies at UCL. So what you can see now on the screen is just a highlight of some of the different clubs that you can join. There's a wide variety of societies, from K-pop society to knitting, gaming. We also have country societies as well. And I know there is an active Turkish society at UCL. We also have excellent sports facilities. So if you're a keen sports person, you have every opportunity to continue your passion at UCL. And we have great sporting facilities. And on Wednesday afternoons are kept free so students can pursue other interests such as sports. So we have over 74 different sports clubs, 6,000 students are actually sports members, so members of one of the affiliated sports clubs. And we teach a variety of different sports, from football to tennis, rugby, cricket, basketball, all sorts of different things. So if you want to continue this particular activity, you can do at UCL. We also encourage our students to be part of something bigger as well. So we have a very thriving volunteer society, volunteer culture at UCL. So this provides opportunities for you to make a contribution to your local community via volunteering or perhaps student politics. And this is very much part of the heart of UCL. So we want to kind of attract students who really want to make a difference, who want to go on to become the world leaders and change makers. And by volunteering at grassroots levels, particularly in the City of London, this gives you an opportunity to really start this kind of work during your studies at UCL. The campus at UCL is connected remotely. All of our libraries are 24/7, so you can study anywhere on the campus. And as I also mentioned, you can also visit the campuses of the other University of London institutions, particularly those which are nearby, such as SOAS, King's and LSE. So just moving on to a city like London, I mean, many of you have probably actually been to London and are familiar with the city. As I said, it's a very international, cosmopolitan city. There's nowhere else quite like it in the world. So there's London Old. These are familiar images on screen of Covent Garden, House of Parliament, which you're probably familiar with. And then we have London New. So there's so much going on in London, and it's very much... it's an amazing city in which to launch a launch pad for your future career. And we are now pleased to actually have reinstated the 2-year study work permit in the UK, which means that all international graduates can apply for this work visa and stay in the UK for up to 2 years after completing their studies. So this gives you the opportunity to search for a job, remain in the UK for at least 2 years after your studies. But being located in the centre of London has many advantages, as it's the home to a number of leading institutes and societies, as well as being the main hub for media, business, politics, finance and technology. And as students at UCL in the heart of London, you can really make the most of these opportunities. But just talking briefly about careers, so we're ambitious for your future in terms of your future career. And your aspirations are important to us as they are to you. And we want to ensure that our students do well and have every opportunity to open up to them. So we invite over 900 employers attend UCL careers events every year. So UCL graduates are very much sought after, and we do have a long list of employers who want to attend these events. And we have a very select list, and the 900 that we do invite are from a very long list of those that want to attend. We're also ranked number 3 in the UK in the 2022 QS Graduate Employability Ranking. So whatever you want to do in the future, whether your career path is clear or not, the UCL Career Service is on hand to support and assist you. So we have a team of experienced professionals dedicated to supporting all our current students to help find the right path to ensure success in your future career. This includes various workshops which are led throughout the academic year, CV writing workshop, interview writing workshops. All these sorts of different things are available on campus. And we really do encourage you to develop employability skills and to undertake even part-time work or internships to enhance and build on these transferable skills. And you will have access to the Careers Library, which will have a list of all the different internships that you can apply to. Finally, we do appreciate that moving away from home for the first time and coming to a major city such as London can be daunting. And UCL ensures that you are supported to enable you to settle into life with us in London. So as well as your personal tutor in your department, who is there to give you academic guidance and support throughout your studies, you're also assigned a transition mentor when you join us. That would be a second or third year student or a graduate student, and they can help you with study skills, time management, administrative skills as well. And you can arrange to meet with them regularly if you want to. We also make sure that all of our students at undergraduate and postgraduate level are invited to welcome events, and we have specific welcome events for international students. There's also access and support from the UCL Student Support Centre and Wellbeing team, and they offer information, advice and services to help all students thrive and to ensure you get the most out of your time with us. So finally, just briefly talking about the applications. So the majority, as you're aware, UCL is a competitive institution. In terms of postgraduate applications from Turkey, we're looking for a minimum entry requirement of 3.3 out of 4. We also require students, when they submit an application, to submit a personal statement detailing why you want to do the particular program. And you also need to provide 2 references, usually academic. I'm just going to leave you there with my contact details. So if any of you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, or I'll be around in the fair for another, I think we're open now for another half an hour. So I'll be around to speak to those who perhaps want to speak to me afterwards. Please do take my contact details, and I look forward to hearing from you.